Hello and welcome to our next interview here. We have actually with us today the lovely Julia Bue-Said, CEO of the Advantage Travel Partnership. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Jonathan.
As you know, we've spoke many times over the last couple of years when things have been pretty bad for the travel agents. And it's great to actually catch up when things are improving. I just wanted to see what your take is on where we are at this moment in time.
Yeah, so as you quite rightly say, things are much better from the last time I think we've had a conversation. And, it's been 2 years of absolute decimation for the industry and for a lot of independent travel agents. It's been a really difficult period. We are absolutely getting to a point now where we can all start to see that light at the end of the tunnel. Agents are feeling a lot more optimistic. They're selling holidays, they're booking travel, which is something which, a year ago, nobody was kind of doing. So yeah, definitely in the right direction. To think that we are now out of it and to think that everything is now suddenly okay is a complete misillusion. And I think that's something that I'm constantly trying to be still very vocal of in terms of the media activity we do and our lobbying, is that don't think for a second that travel is back to normal, because it's got a long way to go. And I think for a lot of travel agents, they've got a lot of debt now. They've got staff shortages. I think for a lot of our local members, they've got lots of issues around Brexit to deal with, EU to deal with, and the whole devolved nations approach. I think how that always seems to fall a couple of weeks at least behind what we see in Westminster. So there are local issues, but there are certainly still some macro issues that we absolutely need to be aware of and remember that we're still not out of it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I was at a travel trade event just in the last couple of days, and speaking to a lot of local travel agents and a lot of members of Advantage themselves, and they were saying like how things have improved. But again, the major issue is staffing levels and trying to get through the operators and one thing and another, because it's so difficult. They're having their own problems. And certainly things are on the up as far as the agents are concerned. I mean, from a local perspective, your Northern Ireland agents, what's the feedback you've had from them?
Yeah, so we've got a significant number of members in Northern Ireland, and we've been engaging with them right the way through the last couple of years. And as you know, we've been up to Northern Ireland, and myself and my team have spent time with our members, so that has continued and really tried to support them as much as we can. However, business, as I said, business does follow the same macro trends that we're seeing across the country. The difference being is the timing. So, the trends are always a couple of weeks behind Westminster. So when we see the messages of Westminster, we automatically see a real swing in behaviour in terms of booking patterns. In Northern Ireland, we see that, unfortunately, because of how the administration lagged behind, we then see that a couple of weeks later. So members are in a much better place. As I said, very much optimistic. Challenges in different sectors. So cruise, which is very big for Northern Ireland, that's tough. That's still really difficult. So we're trying to work with the members about how can they, at this moment in time, consider selling different products. How can we help them with that? So still as positive, optimistic, but still some challenges that are down the road.
Absolutely. Sort of the big issue that's been coming out, has been the clarity of the rules and regulations. There's been different things and relaxations from different countries over the last few weeks, and things are improving from that point of view. I mean, I was away a few weeks ago myself, and not having to do the testing when you come back, and it was wonderful. But what do you think really needs to happen now to give that 100% confidence for people to get back? I know it is coming back in droves, but I mean, what needs to happen now?
I think I think it's a number of things. I think from a overall UK perspective, we need to see, given the way and I know we're still waiting for Northern Ireland administration to decide on their domestic policy, but given we are starting to see relaxation of domestic rules at home, we need to think about that from an international travel perspective. So whilst it's easier to travel back to the UK if you're vaccinated, it's not if you're not vaccinated. Children can get a bit of a challenge as well, depends on where you're travelling to. So we need more harmonisation. We need to get back to frictionless travel. You know, there are people that won't travel if they need to wear masks on planes, if they need to fill out a passenger locator form. I know members, some of our, you know, members that are literally buying smartphones for their customers so they can then help them with their passenger locator form. That's not travel. So, you know, we are, you know, and the problem we've got is actually we've got used to now traveling really under really onerous restrictions. It kind of feels that it's okay now because there are some restrictions, but it's not too bad. So we've got to get back to frictionless travel. We've got to see travel back to the UK first, because that's what we can control. Freer. We've got to be able to see people travelling back without the need for a passenger locator form. And if you're unvaccinated, given all the lessons and all the science we know now, they should be able to travel without still having to pay for expensive and onerous testing. So that absolutely has to be the next kind of marker in the sand in terms of where we get to. And we need to start seeing more countries open up. You know, most of the world actually is still closed. Asia is still closed, and those that are open, you still have to quarantine for 5, 6, 7 days. So so there is a long way to go. So we need to see more harmonisation. We hope that the international collaboration that has been going on, although it doesn't appear to be that sometimes, across governments, that continues, and that's got to continue at pace. But there are many challenges before we get. I mean, I mentioned cruise before. That's another one. That's a complete different, you know, kind of animal, if you like. So still barriers in the way to get us to where we need to be. But Jonathan, we're in February. I'm hopeful that every week that goes past, you know, in the next couple of months, we're going to get close to that. You know, we're going to get close to a time where we can travel in a manner that we were used to traveling pre-pandemic, and that shouldn't be too far away.
Oh, I have to say, like, I mean, all the noises that are coming out in regard to locator forms being scrapped and regulations being, you know, the same right across the whole of Europe and one thing or another. I mean, the one positive thing that I've seen, or a few positive things over the last day or two, is most of the things that we're reporting in Northern Ireland Travel News are, you know, increased destinations for, you know, increased capacity, you know, the return of flights, you know, to San Francisco, you know, increased capacity from Jet2 out of Belfast International, you know, to Malaga, just not being put on for April alone. And a lot more bookings for travel agents. Like I say, the event that I was at, everybody was very positive about it. So, you know, it's just a few little regulations and a few little things that actually need the last pieces of the jigsaw, let's put it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I think also what we've seen is the share of the travel agent community increase in terms of their booking. So we've seen that, you know, we've seen more consumers going to an agent. We've seen more, you know, more benefits around the booking value of an independent travel agent. And that's coming through louder and louder now. So whilst the overall market clearly is still down and it's still only trading at around 60% of pre-pandemic levels, we're seeing more of that coming into travel agents, which is one of the, I mean, we've got to look at it positively. One of the really positive aspects coming out of the last couple of years, certainly from my point of view, is the consumer now really understands the value and the benefit of booking through a travel agent, and long may that continue. So it gives travel agents, whether it's leisure or business travel, a huge opportunity to really galvanise that publicity that's been built up and that support, and just make sure they're going for it. That's what I like to say to my members. You just got to go for it, because there is pent-up demand. People want to travel. We've just got to show them and help navigate them to book through the right means.
Absolutely. Yeah, and people upscaling the type of travel that they're doing, you know, going for that bucket list type stuff, and increasing the type of hotel, there's the quality of hotel they're staying in, so everything else. So I really appreciate you taking the time. Of course, I always like to finish with, where are you going on your next holiday?
Well, I'm in the middle of booking mine at the moment, so I'm looking to go to Portugal. So I've got my youngest son, who's only 16. So when I say youngest, it sometimes feels like he's a little child, but he's a 6'2", 16-year-old. Finishes GCSEs in early July. So we're looking to book a villa holiday in Portugal. So I can't wait. But before that, I do have a business conference in Madeira where we're inviting the travel agent community too. Hopefully you can join us as well, Jonathan, and we'll have a nice party, but also some serious business and just reunite all the travel agents again.
Yeah, and I'm actually signed up to go to it myself. I actually was with Joanna Diaz last evening from Madeira, so she's really looking forward to hosting the whole conference with you. And it's my first time in Madeira, so I'm really looking forward to it. But I want to thank you again for all your commitment to the whole travel community and what you've done over the last 2 years in keeping the voice very strong out there, and really the support that you've given to our local agents here in Northern Ireland. And hope to see you back over here at some stage at one of our events during the year.
Definitely look forward to it. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
No problem.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks for your time. See you soon.